I fear nothing, for all is as the Force wills it.
All right, we've got a couple questions here. I think we're looking at 6 topics to talk about. We're going to get started with this first one. Will any current Star Wars canon media be de-canonized? So I know everybody's looking at that Last Jedi movie, but it's more likely we're going to get something like, oh, that book, you know what? We decided we were going to get rid of this. Heir to the Jedi wasn't really that great. Let's shove it out there. Let's write a new story for Luke Skywalker. Lacey, what do you think? Anything going to get de-canonized?
I'm like so nervous about Star Wars War.
All right.
No, I think everything's good. Everything will be great. John?
Lacey's on full tilt already. I can't wait. All right, so will any current Star Wars canon media be de-canonized? I think it will. I think something will happen, and they'll have to wipe something out to tell that story or fit it in somewhere else. We've already kind of flirted with that, with some things kind of overlapping. We've talked about this, like the novelization of TFA, where Rey meets Poe, and then they meet in the movie of The Last Jedi, so it's a little fuzzy. But I do think something's going to be wiped out to tell a better version of it. So I say it will.
I'm going to go with no. I'm going to say they're not going to de-canonize anything. But I think if it's even remotely possible, there's the possibility they say, well, it's still canon in this B generation of canon, and then there's the like A story canon or something like that, right? But they're never at any point going to go, oh, no, everything is canon except for the novel Phasma, or something like that. I don't think they're ever going to do that.
De-canonize Kanan Jarrus.
No, get out of here. Moving on. Will Jon Favreau's series be about Mandalore, as one rumor claims? Now, we talked about this on Monday, so I think we already kind of get a vibe on what's going to go down in this. But, John, what do you think? Mandalore? Jon Favreau?
No.
No,
it won't.
That's simple. Yeah, I think we already talked about it. I'm going, here's the thing. Will it be about this? I hope that it is. I think that it will be. I'm going to say, yeah, I think it will be. There's nothing to say that it will or won't. It could be a million different things. I just kind of think that would be a good idea. So I'm going to say, yeah. Let's say it's about Mandalore. Lacey, what do you say?
No. It's so boring. No one cares about it. No.
Mandalore. It gets brought up in this episode again. All right, guys, I think we should just go ahead and knock out that one and move on to the next one, because we talked pretty heavily about it on Monday. So the next Will of the Force is, will either Rian Johnson or the Benioff and Weiss films, B and Dub films, as we like to call them, take place during the Galactic Civil War, just from other people's perspective outside the Skywalker crew? So, John, I'm going to start with you. Do you think it's possible that these 2 new trilogies / franchise of films are going to actually take place during the same time frame as all the other Star Wars movies we've ever gotten?
No.
He says no. So
No, for a while I thought that it was possible, but I don't think so.
All right. So I'll get Lacey's, but I want to get an answer from the 2 of you. But Lacey, what do you think?
No.
She says no too. All right. So quickly, if not, when do you think that those stories are going to take place?
Old Republic, and then Ryan's will take place sometime probably during the sequel trilogy or after.
During the sequel trilogy or after. Okay.
I think I agree. One will be a longest time ago, and one will be like, since the saga was a long time ago, it's going to be past that, where people are going to be talking about Luke Skywalker like he's a myth.
So like 30 years after Endor.
I think B and Dubs is going to be Old Republic, guys. I think we're getting Old Republic with that.
No, I'm talking like 500 years past the time.
That's a little much.
Darth Vader.
So 1,000 years ago, and then the other one is 500 years in the future. I think I'm with Lacey. I think Benioff was Wise is going to be the Old Republic, and I think Rian Johnson's is going to take place in another place in the galaxy, somewhere else, but post Return of the Jedi, pre Force Awakens. That era, but somewhere over there where things are good, things are fine because the Empire's gone, but maybe the New Republic isn't quite established yet. Let's put it that way. All right, moving on to the next one.
So we all said no.
Yeah, we all said no, that it's not going to take place between like Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope or something like that. Will Jar Jar Binks ever be seen again in a Star Wars series or film? So remember, that word series means he could show up in television or technically even animated television. Lacey, what do you think?
I say yes. I think he's going to show up probably, maybe Clone Wars.
It's possible.
I think he's coming back, guys. I think he'll come back eventually.
All right.
Or he'll be Snoke and Rey's parents.
I mean, will be is in like he is Snoke. So, yeah, absolutely. 100%. As much as people don't like this character, somebody was joking around about like his death earlier. And I was like, he's not dead. Like we don't know how his character ends. We know that he's on like this planet and he's what he's doing right now. And it's not really that important. Yeah. But I think that at some point they're going to address, him as a character as a whole, because I think we're even going to look back at like, oh man, the prequels were like 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Let's talk about Jar Jar, But yeah, I think that's very likely. John, what do you say?
I think we will as well. I do think it's funny that J.J. Abrams almost killed him. Canonically, and almost put his bones in the background somewhere on Jakku. I think he was going to do that. But I think just this whole movement and everything with Ahmed Best and kind of those Hayden Christensen vibes, though I don't think he's coming back. He's going to get another kind of like a redemption, and not like a character redemption, but kind of like, let's give Jar Jar one more spotlight, and let's not make it big, but let's bring him back and let him know that even though some of us don't love you, we still accept you.
All right. Next question is, will we ever see Inquisitors in a live action Star Wars series or film? Now, the Inquisitors kind of made their big grand entrance into Rebels. That's where everybody kind of knows them from. They've since shown up in multiple comic books, but will we actually ever see them jump to live action, or I guess you could say the possibility of another series like an animated show or something like that? But John, what do you say?
Well, live action. I do, because I really want, and this is the little kid in Willy Wonka saying, I want this, I want that. I want that live action Vader hunting down Jedi movie. And they would fit right into that. So I think we will.
All right, Lacey, do you agree with him?
No, that's not happening.
Well, that's nice.
I think they're
absolutely butcher you in that Star Wars war.
I think they're really like a Rebels comics thing. I don't think they're well known enough that they'd show up in a movie and people would be like, "Ah, yes." I'm going to say no.
I am going to go with yes, although I could totally see this not happening too. So it's kind of a tricky thing. Like, they are just deep enough in the lore that people would be like, Inquisitors? What are these things?
I'm sorry, what are they in? Deep enough in the what?
Shut up. That if these things ever showed up in a show or a movie, I think they would be immediately just accepted like the Knights of Ren were. Like, yeah, dude, those things are sweet. They're not a main. I don't need to know the backstory. I don't need to know what they are. What you're trying to tell me? These used to be like Jedi, like actual, like in the Order, in the Council Jedi, and now they're like evil dark side users, and they're like, I don't know, just cool.
James, you're like so pumped up about this.
No, I'm saying I think so that's
pumped
the
up
thing.
for a thing that's never going to happen.
Well, you say that, but John agrees with me. All right, moving on to the next one. This is the last one, guys.
Movie's going to be Boss.
This is the last. It's going to have Bosk. That you've heard it here first, folks. Yeah, we already got a Vader movie with Boss. It was
What
called
is
Empire
happening?
Strikes Back. All right. Speaking of things coming back, will Harrison Ford, Han Solo, appear in episode 9 in a flashback? So he's not coming back to life, guys, but is there the possibility that since they've teased force backs and flashbacks, just Luke and Ben back in their little cottage together, is there a chance that we might actually get to see Harrison Ford again on the big screen? Lacey.
I'm going to say yes, but not in the way that you're saying it. I think they're going to show him dying again in some type of flash vision nightmare sequence. I think that will happen. I don't think you'll see him in like him with baby Ben or him talking to young Ben. I think
Lacey, do you think we're going to see the same footage, or do you think he'll come back and shoot different
same footage.
looks
He's
at
not
that?
coming back. Harrison's out.
Okay.
I'm going to say that I agree with Lacey in the sense that I don't think we could ever get Harrison back. But they're using unused footage of Carrie Fisher. And I think there's a possibility that JJ could say, we didn't get the big three on screen. Let's do it again. Let's make it happen with Harrison Ford's permission. We don't need to have him on set. We don't need any rumors out there. We're going to cut together a scene somehow with the three of them together, and everybody is going to come full circle on this trilogy and say, we got what we wanted. So I think it's very possible that we could see Han Solo appear in episode 9 and not so much like a new Harrison Ford scene, if you will. John, Will the Force, last one. What do you say?
I think we will, and I would not completely rule out him coming back to have done one more scene for that reason, for that reunion that everybody's kind of hoping for.
So you just
to
take it
close
one
out
more
this whole
step.
saga. Yeah. Yep. I would not rule that out.
Yeah, I think that's possible. Simply because of Carrie passing, I think he might go, all right, fine. Like he's like, I was done with this thing, but it's for her. For her, I'll do it. Yeah. Or something. I can see that.
Give me a private jet and $10 million, I'll be there.
Not that Harrison cares, but like, Mark's doing it. Mark's gonna show up. All right, I'll do it if Mark's doing it.
I don't want to be the only jerk.
Exactly. Hey everyone, thanks for watching that video. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and head over to the full episode by clicking this box here. If you want, you can subscribe, and that way you get all the weekly news, you get our discussions, you get information on our giveaways whenever we do them. It's a good time, we promise. Thanks for watching the Resistance broadcast.